So this morning I got a bunch of emails from you guys asking what my opinion is on the Inergy K2. The Inergy K2 is a new solar generator on the market that's going to be replacing the famous Inergy Kodiak. And the Inergy Kodiak, in my opinion, is the best solar generator on the market. It's lightweight, it's cheap, has the highest solar input, lots of other cool features. But in this new updated edition, there are some things that I like and some things that I dislike. So first, let's talk about the updates. So first, there's going to be a true MPPT solar charge controller that will increase charging efficiency and decrease charging time. And that's a plus. That's really great. The next feature is that we have add-on lithium batteries, and that's better than using the lead acids that they had for the expansion terminals on the Inergy Kodiak because it only charged it to 12.6 volts, because the internal lithium battery charges to 12.6 volts, and that severely limited those lead acid batteries that you connected to it because they are not charging all the way, so they will not last as long, and they're not being fully charged. You want that thing going up to at least 13.8, which is the common float voltage. So yeah, that is a very good upgrade. Lithium battery expansion is awesome, but we don't know how large these batteries are and we don't know the price. It is soon to be announced. Next, the Inergy K2 has USB-C and USB ports and DC plugs, and these can be on when the inverter is off. In the Inergy Kodiak, you had to turn on the inverter, which used its own power to have the USB and other stuff on. So people got around this by using the cigarette adapter because that was the only thing on the Inergy Kodiak that was always on. And people would plug in their own USB charger into the cigarette lighter, so you don't have to do that with this one. Those ones can be turned on all night long and you don't have to worry about draining your battery because the inverter is on. So that's a great upgrade. Next, the display screen is now updated and it will show more details and it shows the battery capacity. I am not sure how detailed it is. I want to see if it shows watt hours going in and other things like that. I don't know if it shows the output. I'm pretty sure it's only solar input. The Goal Zero has the best screen on the market in my opinion. It shows what's going in and what's going out. Also, the Jackery has that as well. I love that little Jackery. I actually use it for lots of things. This little small solar generator that I had to review like 2 months ago. And I've checked the manual for the K2 and it doesn't tell me all of the details of what the display screen does. So I'm still waiting for that documentation to come out. The next new feature is that it's heavier. The Inergy Kodiak was 20 pounds. This new Inergy K2 is 25 pounds. So they added 5 pounds to the system, and I'm guessing it's because they added the MPPT. That requires more hardware. But even though it's heavier, the Inergy K2 is the same dimension, so it's the same size. Now that we know the new features, let's talk about what's not changing. So first, the chemistry of the battery inside and the battery size is not changing. So the battery in the Inergy Kodiak and the battery in the K2 is identical. They are not different at all. So that means that the discharge rate under certain temperatures and conditions is going to be the same. The next thing that isn't changing is the solar power input capabilities, but they're now recommending 500 watts instead of 600 watts. And I did see some people email me about when they connected 600 watts, some of the cables would get hot and then Inergy would replace it with another cable. And I'm guessing it had a larger gauge of wire inside, but I'm not actually sure on that. But I'm guessing that they just want to be on the safe side because Inergy Kodiak had a lot of people that were series connecting and putting too many panels to it, and it was frying it. And that's why they have all of these refurbished Inergy Kodiaks on their website. Now they don't want any of these problems, so they're recommending 500 watts. But 500 watts is not nearly as nice as 600 watts. So this kind of puts Goal Zero back on the map because if you can put 360 watts, it's not that much different than 500 now. But the Inergy Kodiak has one cable instead of 2 cables. I don't like Goal Zero's setup at all with the solar panel input. And now what do I dislike about this unit? Now they're going to have proprietary EC8 plugs that will connect the solar panels to the Inergy K2. It is because they want to use their own solar panels with their own plugs so that you buy them directly from them, and they cost more than buying it on Amazon. These EC8 plugs are not waterproof, they're not UV resistant like MC adapters. So what I'm going to do is when I get my hands on one, I'm going to teach you guys how to wire up your own MC4 adapters with your own solar power lines with UV resistant cables to your solar panels, so then you can hook up any solar panel to it. The reason they made this proprietary plug is because people were burning out their Kodiak. They were series connecting, or they were connecting too many solar panels, and then they would wake up the next day and say, oh no, the Kodiak isn't turning on. But that's why they're using proprietary plugs now, which is kind of a bummer. And honestly, if they're not weatherproof and they're not UV resistant, and people want to put these solar panels in the sunshine. I mean, think about when they had the flexible solar panels, the Predators, they had this plastic covering and it was not UV resistant. And what happened is when I put them on sunshine for about 6 months, that stuff peeled off and it looked disgusting. So if they're using EC8 plugs that are not UV resistant and not weatherproof, these things are going to fall apart within 6 months to a year. So I do not like that. And I totally understand why they're using these new plugs, because they're tired of having these people sending back the Energy Kodiak with their money back guarantee. And it sucks. It's a bummer that they have to deal with that. They probably lost a lot of money because people didn't read the instructions. So I understand why they're using those plugs, but at the same time, they need something better. They need something that is UV and weather resistant. Seems like a pretty good unit overall, but I need to test it to give you guys my honest opinion on it. I can't wait to see if those plugs are actually junky or not. I have used them a lot for RC hobby stuff, and if they're not modified in any way, that seems like a bad idea, but I'm gonna make a video on how to fix those plugs and use MC4 adapters instead. Full disclosure though, I'm affiliated by them, but I hold them up to the same standards of any company. These products come and go, and I think a lot of them could be improved. I really kind of want to make my own solar battery because nobody is making a good one. Like a 300 amp hour lithium iron phosphate with MPPT solar charge controller up to like 1,000 watts of solar with expansion. Like, if somebody could make that, you could make so much money. And so this week I'm going to start emailing people about manufacturing my own because these companies don't seem to get it. I told them like 1.5 years ago what to do, and they still do not do it. And the Energy Kodiak may be the best available, but they could improve a lot on so many things. I've already told this to them multiple times directly, but it's like people are forcing me to make a better system because no one else is making it. So I hope you guys like this video. I can't wait to review this thing, but yeah, we'll see. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.